Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is my review for the season finale of The Bridge, Season 2, Episode 13, Jubilex, and this might end up being the series finale as well because, as of right now at least, FX has not renewed the show for a third season. Here's the thing, I'm pretty sure it's coming back though because FX never cancels anything. Anything. They have every show that has been on FX this summer has gotten renewed. Tyrant even got renewed. So, this show needs to get renewed, definitely. This episode, though, it was amazing. By far best episode of the season. Such an intense episode, and season 3, if there is a season 3, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait for it. I like what ended up happening in this episode, and I thought it was really awesome. Definitely, I love this episode. So let's just get to it. And really, this episode did what a finale should do. It amped up the tension. It closed out storylines very well. I was into it the entire time, and just a really great finale. Let's just get to it, though. So Hank and Sonya, they're still on that stakeout. You know, they went on that stakeout in the last episode, and they're still on that stakeout. So they are trailing the truck and van, and Sonya follows the van that drives into a random garage. As for Hank, though, he gets out of the car and moves toward the truck, which is stopped in the middle of the road. And there's a short shootout with the truck driver, whom Hank kills, and then we get to see what's inside the truck besides the drugs. And this was really interesting. Stephen's alive. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting Stephen to not live, but he lived, and that was definitely surprising. So, yeah, so Stephen's still alive, and honestly, it's good that he's still alive, because I don't think this episode needed a huge death. It didn't. I was happy that they didn't end up killing off Stephen, because after all he's been through, and, he just shaved his beard and everything, I'm happy he's not dead. I thought overall, at first I'm like, am I happy that he's dead, or that they didn't kill him off? At first I was upset, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm happy that they did that. So, the CIA break into Daniel's home. They burn all the classified information that was stolen from the DEA's agent home. And the CIA threatens to mess with his and Adriana's lives if they run the story, because they don't trust them. So the CIA, has invested in this business, and they say it's not a game, it's a business. So no matter what Daniel decides to do, the agents have the power to twist it all around due to Daniel's questionable background with alcohol and drugs. So, that definitely was interesting what happened there. So the CIA agent then gets a phone call, and he leaves. The next time we see him, he's knocking out Sonya. She sneaks into the garage of the van she was following, and before getting hit, she sees a man wrapping up a dead body. The CIA agent shoots the other man and calls for a cleanup. So really intense stuff going on here. And that was just, huge what happened. I'm like, okay, are they going to, kill off Sonya? Because, Sonya's the main character. But thinking that this could possibly be a series finale was thinking, honestly, the options are endless. They are. So I honestly didn't know what was going to happen there. And I honestly thought some bad was going to happen to Sonya in this episode. But luckily she breaks, I'll talk about what happens. But, I thought she was really going to get seriously hurt there. So then Marco and Galvan. Galvan, still, they are walking through the desert with Romina and Galvan's Lackery. Romina's very sluggish. She can barely walk because she's been tortured so much. Obviously, it makes sense. She's been tortured so much. So they sit her down and give her a hit to help her through her withdrawals. And we learn it's all an act when she grabs a syringe from Galvan's hand, stabs, injects him with the drugs. Marco overtakes the Lackery, takes his gun. Romina is wounded in the process. The tables have turned in their favor, though. So that was really big what happened there. The second that she took that thing, I'm like, yep, she's going to kill him. And she didn't kill him. She tried to, but I was surprised that Galvan survived that. I was. I was definitely very surprised that Galvan survived that. I thought he was going to die from that, but he didn't die. So I was surprised that he survived that. I was like, alright, I guess he survived. I was surprised by that. I really thought he wasn't going to survive, and he did. So Sonya then no. Eleanor and Sebastian meets so they can give her what she wants, which is the caged man. She wants to talk about the caged man. And Sebastian's men lead her to the man, and we find out finally who that caged man is. It turns out the caged man is her father. And Sebastian asks her what she plans to do with him. And she says, take him home to the willow tree. Because we know that she had a lot of problems with her father, a lot of problems with him. And, from all those stories she told, we know that she had a lot of problems with her father. So I didn't really know what was going to happen with her father. I mean, I was really worried there, but that's really, we don't see Eleanor till the end of the episode, which honestly, in my opinion, I thought that was well done. I did. I thought that was well done, that we didn't see her father till the end of the episode, but I thought at this point it was well done. So Sonya then wakes up. Everything in the garage is gone. She tells Hank and the federal agent, who show up shortly, about what the CIA agent just did to her. Obviously, she was, assaulted, and it's an act of violence, so she's really pissed off at this point. But the Fed explains how the CIA got involved with this whole situation. And basically, the agency gave money to try to control the situation, but the thing is, it couldn't. They couldn't do it. So, I thought that was definitely very interesting what happened there. They couldn't control the situation. That was definitely interesting. So, Marco is in charge now, and he's leading Galvan and the rest through the desert. Galvan taunts Marco, and he tells him he wins if he dies or goes to prison. However, he also mentions Marco's father and how he really died. And this was huge what happened. I thought this was just really big. It doesn't faze Marco too much, though, because he makes a call to Sonya. And when this happened, I'm like, alright, the episode shit's about to go down definitely, because, this was huge. He just says to Sonya, I need your help. So I thought that was really intense. Meanwhile, Marco is tending to Romina's wound. She's panicking. He manages to calm her down. And honestly, I felt really bad for Romina in this episode. I mean, she's been separated from her father. It's just, it's so sad what happened to her. Really, it's really sad what happened there. It's sad because of the fact that, her father and her have been separated for so long. That's Sebastian's main concern. She has been with Galvan all this time. He kidnapped her back in, episode 7, I think he killed her in. I thought that was, really sad. So I really felt bad for Romina in this episode. Definitely, I felt bad for her. So, Daniel and Adriana, they then meet with CIA agent's boss, the station chief, and she dismisses the agent as a sick man. And, that's what she thinks they're trying to get across with their story. And they're trying to determine the extent of damage he caused. But Daniel and Adriana, they don't believe a word she's saying. They don't think anything she's saying is true. So they ask where the CIA agent is, and she says he's being evaluated. And it's no surprise when we see the CIA agent killed by the assassin. So he's dead. The CIA agent that, was there, he's dead. And this is the assassin that he hired to kill Ral earlier this season. I thought that was really interesting how that connected to that, because honestly, I forgot about that. That was way in the beginning of the season, and I completely forgot about that. So I definitely thought that was interesting there, and I completely forgot about that, but I thought that was definitely a very well done scene, and I really enjoyed that. So Sonya picks up Marco and the gang. She didn't tell anyone where or what she's up to, and Marco tells Sonya to take Romina to the hospital and to stay with her. And Marco brings Galvan into the situation to arrest him and sits in the jail cell with him. And Galvan asks him who's next. Marco replies that he'll be in prison for the rest of his life, and I thought this was awesome, because honestly, I didn't know what was going to happen to Galvan. I was surprised that Galvan was still alive, but at least Galvan got something. He is now in prison for the rest of his life, and I thought that was definitely interesting there, because Galvan, I was pretty sure he was going to die. There wasn't actually a lot of huge kills in this episode, though, which was surprising. So, then Marco says something very interesting that I really want to talk about. Marco is sitting in the cell with Galvan, and Galvan says, you become a hero? And Marco says, I'm not a hero. And it's kind of true if you think about it, because Marco's an anti-hero. He's not really, he's someone we root for, but he's more of an anti-hero than he is a hero. Yes, he's committing good acts, but he did do a lot of things. Like, for example, he works for Robles, who almost killed Stephen. So that's obviously not good. He Stephen and Eva. So that's obviously not good. So definitely Marco knows he's not a hero. He knows he's just some guy that does the right things, but he's not a hero. And the thing is, there is really no such thing as a hero in the real world. There is sort of, but a hero really is just someone who makes an impact. So I thought that was interesting what Marco said when he said, I'm not a hero. Because the thing about Marco is he's more of an anti-hero, as I said, but he's such an interesting character to watch. I think that's what makes his character so interesting, is how he doesn't think he's a hero, but really he is committing very good acts, and he just doesn't realize it. So Sebastian asks Sonya about his daughter, and she tells him that Romina was shot by Galvan, and if he wants to know where Romina is, she needs to give up Eleanor's location. Sorry guys, I'm getting a Skype call. There's no question what he does next, and that was definitely really interesting what happened there. I wasn't expecting that at all. That was really really big what happened. So, again, Sebastian's main concern is finding his daughter. That's what he's concerned about. He is concerned about finding his daughter, making sure his daughter's okay. That's what he's concerned about. And obviously, it makes sense. He's been separated from his daughter for so long. It makes sense why he's so concerned about her. So back at the station, Robles leaves without his badge. I don't like Robles anymore. He killed Stephen. I don't really like him anymore. He knows he's done there. He's leaving. Okay, and honestly, that was the right thing to do. He almost killed Stephen, so it's the best thing that he leaves. Marco is now the captain, though. He's now in the captain position. But Marco doesn't want it. He's told to think about it. It's clear that there are people who want to see a man like him assume the powerful position of police captain. But it was interesting to see Marco actually not want it. And it makes sense why Marco has it, because Marco should have it. He is the most rational out of all of them. He really is a hero. Even though he doesn't think he is a hero. And that was really interesting what happened there. And I'm glad that Marco got this position. And again, if they want to end this as a series finale, that's a good way to end it, in my opinion. So, looking like he escaped the hospital, Stephen then crosses the bridge to reunite with Eva. And it's really a touching scene. You see them reunite and everything. And I still will never get what Stephen is saying half the time. But it was good to see the two of them reunite after all they've been through. It was so good to see them reunite, and that was just great. We did not get a Romina and Sebastian reunite, but they pretty much told us, they're going to be okay. That's what happened there. So, then Hank arrives at this... Actually, no, that's not what happened. Hank and Sonya had interrogated Stephen earlier about how he ended up in the truck, and he's lied, saying he didn't know. And Eva's happy he came back. So the question is, will these two live their own little happily ever after, or are they going to keep going on this vigilante mission? Because again, as I said before, this was all Eva's idea to go on this mission. It was her idea to go on this mission. It was her idea to do this whole thing. So the question is, are they going to continue this happily ever after, or are they going to go on this crusade for justice? Are they going to keep doing that? That's what I want to know. I think it's going to be interesting to see what they actually end up doing. If there is a season 3, there is. If there's not a season 2, then... If there's not a season 3, then who knows? So, Hank then arrives at the scene of the CIA's agent body, and he invites Daniel and Adriana to come by as a thank you for helping him out. Hank leaves them to it, seeing that they're really onto something, and he stops to ask Adriana if she's sure about all this. And she's assures him they're not going to ball on this story. They're going to keep this story. This is their story. They've been investigating it all season, and that makes sense. They want to keep the story. It's their story. They've been doing this all season, so they know what they're doing. I definitely like that, because it's, really shows that they know what they're doing. So Caesar then drives Eleanor out of the desert, and we get a really intense scene here. Like, this was probably the creepiest scene in the entire show. If we want to talk about, like, disturbing scenes, this is number one. By far, this is number one. Because I did not know what Eleanor was going to do with her father. There was a second when I thought she was going to kill him. There was a second when I thought she was going to put him in prison. I didn't know what she was going to do with him. So she literally has her father on a leash because she doesn't know what he's going to do to her. He could end up attacking her, raping her. Like, he could do a lot of bad shit to her. So she is really worried about what her father could do to her. So I'm glad that she put him on a leash. And the thing that I love about the show is Eleanor's supposed to be the main villain of this season, but you cared for her, and the thing is, that I like that The Bridge does, is they take the first season to get you to know the villain, then the second season they actually become a villain, much like Galvan. Galvan was in last season, he was a character, and this season, his storyline came to a close, so I guess if The Bridge does a season 3, then Eleanor's storyline is going to be done. I always like that The Bridge has 2 villains, though. I like that. And it's very similar with David Tate. Tate was the main villain in season 1, and he died in season 2. So I'm wondering, I don't know if Eleanor's gonna die, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there. So she's pulling on her father's leash toward the willow tree, and she tells him about her abuse, throws acorns at him, provokes him, and eventually, she's literally like, just touch me, and that was, like, really intense what happens there. He breaks loose of his restraints and attacks her. Sonya comes right in time, shoots him, so he's dead, because even though Eleanor is a criminal, she wants to protect her. She does. So then we see that Eleanor says she can shoot her too, but Sonya refuses to do that, because Eleanor at this point, she wants to die. She does not want to, she wants to die at this point. She thinks Sonya wants to kill her, but Sonya says, I'm not like you, which is true. Sonya knows what she's doing. So she handcuffs Eleanor, calls Marco, and Sonya thinks she will be fired when they find out what she just did. So she's worried she's going to be fired, and she doesn't know what to do with Eleanor. You know, they're in a very tricky situation here of what's going to happen. You know, Marco says that they can take Eleanor to the car while he gets the man. They can send her to, you know, there's so many options of what they could do to her. And it literally just, it was really weird how it ended. It pans out. We see like a map of US and Mexico, and that's how it ends. That made me feel like this was supposed to be the series finale. I feel like this is going to be like Homeland, where the writers left it open for if they do get renewed for another season. But if they don't, then it's fine, because they ended it on a good note. You know, basically Sonya and Marco are going to keep continuing their job, and, you know, Marco is now the captain. So if this is the end of the bridge, then honestly, I'm satisfied. I think it was a satisfying ending, because really something like this is what you do for life. If you're a CIA agent, this is what you do for life, and I thought that was interesting. So, you know, the big question is the bridge going to return for a third season? I honestly have no idea right now. If it does, I'll be very happy. If it doesn't, fine. I'm satisfied. Okay, honestly, if it doesn't, it's perfectly fine in my opinion. I'm satisfied. I don't need it. I don't need a I don't need a season 3. You know, this wasn't like a huge cliffhanger. It was just like, you know, what are they going to do with Eleanor? It is a cliffhanger, but like, if they decide to end it, it's fine, because the same thing just happened with Galvan. We know what's going to happen to Eleanor. Something's not, they're going to eventually make a decision, and here's the thing, guys. I actually didn't expect to love The Bridge as much as I did this season. The Bridge was a show that I watched last year for one episode, and I hated it. But again, that was before I liked FX shows, so I was so surprised by how much I love this show. This show is probably my third favorite show on FX now. I absolutely loved it. It is just such an amazing show. The whole season was so amazing. The acting was amazing. And it really just got better and better as it went on. I love seeing that in this episode. And, you know, this episode was just full of so much tension and so much, you know, plotting. All the plotting and everything came forward, and so much tension. That's what a good season/series finale should do. I don't know if this was the season finale or the series finale, but whatever it was a very satisfying finale. I was very satisfied with this finale. I thought it was very well done. And the only other thing I think I'm going to talk about is the question of Marco. Marco being a hero, I think he realizes now that he kind of is a hero. Even though he doesn't want to admit it, I think Marco is a hero. I don't think he's ever going to be able to admit that he's a hero, but I think deep down Marco really is a hero if you think about it. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Marco's a hero? I think he's a hero. That's just my opinion. I think he is. Daniel and Adriana, I like that they are basically going out on their own, doing what they want to do. They're not going to change anything because it's their story, and I like that definitely. And, you know, he sees that they're onto something, and I thought that was interesting and everything. But the thing is, like, they didn't really have a conclusion to their story, so they are still kind of on, I don't know what's going to happen with Daniel and Adriana. If they do a season 3, I have no idea what's happening with them, which I like, because that's up in the air. That's really up in the air what's going to happen with them. And, you know, in life, things, sometimes not everything has a, you know, specific answer, and I like that about the show. The show is very realistic in that way, where things like what Daniel and Adriana are doing, I have no idea what they're doing next. No idea. It was good to see Eva and Stephen reunite, but again, I do wonder if they're going to live their happily ever after, or if they're going to continue this vigilante mission. I want to know exactly what they're going to decide to do here. That's just what I want to know. And also, what is Sonya going to do with Eleanor? I honestly have no idea. But that's it for my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys saw this finale. I thought this was a perfect finale. I had no problems with it. I loved it. That's my review. See you guys in my next video, which will be my review for I can't wait for my next review I will finally be reviewing to you in my next video the season premiere of The Vampire Diaries, which I'm so excited for. So I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.